have a huge grapple hold on a world championship spot. Take it away.
Here we go, guys. We've all been waiting for this match. Diligent and Mr. Chung. Pre-bands coming out here. We've got Ganny and that light Monkey King getting pre-banned here. First pick going to the side of Mr. Chung.
And Mr. Chung, with much respect and Diligent, knows that he needs to take away that Ganny. Vice versa here. Diligent pre-banning that light Monkey King. Knows Mr. Chung is the king of CC. That light Monkey Praha composition. Knows he also likes to take that Ganny Hathor setup.
Looks like Diligent's going to be going with that Gianna, taking that right away from Mr. Chung. I'm sorry, Mr. Chung going with the Gianna, taking it away from Diligent.
Yeah, that's that world championship winning Gianna right there. We saw the huge violent proc stun last year, just enough to take it over so Mr. Chung could win that third game he was looking for.
We see a Connell and a Moore coming out for Diligent.
Mr. Chung's gonna have to play pretty defensively or just really heavily aggressive Diligent here. We do know some people say Diligent is faster than light, as you can see on his player profile there. I'd be a little afraid of this composition. It's probably pretty quick.
Definitely. Let's see what Mr. Chung's going to be drafting after seeing this Connell and Moore. He's a speed lead himself, but it looks like he's going to be looking to Lulu to save the day.
Lulu Oki, Lulu Sierra, a lot of safe picks here. Takes the Chung Pung away from Diligent, though. Saw what happened in the last matches there with Frank, with that Water Ryu, Carnal, and the Chung Pung. Doesn't want a repeat of that.
That's right. Diligent looking to draft 2 more units after seeing this Lulu and the Chung Pung coming out for Mr. Chung. We're going to be seeing a Han and a Savannah possibly being drafted by Diligent.
Diligent really aggressive turn 1 here. His Han is incredibly strong, though. It's very fast, does a lot of damage. I was kind of thinking for a Diana in this situation, but Diligent does like to play a little bit more aggressive than that kind of turn 2 unit there.
Mr. Chung looking to wrap up his draft here to go with the sustain that he has of Lulu and the control of the rest of his units that he has. And he has the Hay-Gang, possibly taking that away from Diligent. Looking to draft that against his Gianna. Hay-Gang coming out for Mr. Chung in one last pick going down to the wire. And it's going to be that Fran.
I like the Hay-Gang. I think Hay-Gang is really effective into the situation. You have to be really careful, though, because with Han on the field, you know, a single strip, even if you do get the turn, can deal a ton of damage. Brand being a pretty safe option here. He does have a small speed lead, a lot of sustained double healers in the situation. I kind of would have liked to see something like maybe a Sion in the situation. It's very good against that, but Diligent locking in the Diana. Diana very effective into this last pick draft here. Diana and Sierra both very good. And the bands come out really quickly. There's the Gianna and the Diana going almost instantly.
That's right, Gianna and Diana getting banned out immediately. Here we go, guys. We have sustained on the side of Mr. Chung. Not so much sustain on the side of Diligent, but Diligent with the speed lead that he's going to have to hopefully take advantage of Mr. Chung here. We're about to find out, guys. We're getting into round 1 between Diligent and Mr. Chung. Leader skills are now locked in. Speed leads for both teams. Diligent definitely taking that first turn.
I'm interested to see if the Savannah's on Swift to follow up. It's really fast. It might actually be on Swift. It might be just enough to push back. Needs a single pushback here onto the Hay-Gang.
Or able to get almost a full strip, but not on top of the Fran. Fran being very quickly getting the buffs up here. Hay-Gang with the Despair Stun on top of the Savannah.
So a tech Fran here with that Will double Nemesis. Very effective against that more triple resets coming out here for Mr. Chung. Mr. Chung's in a pretty advantageous position. Has a lot of sustain, but I don't know if he'll actually have enough damage to take down these units right away.
Mr. Chung trying to work down that Han as soon as possible. Diligent knows about that double Nem Fran going right after it, hoping he had enough damage to take it out, but we've got a lovely skill 2 ready to heal up that Fran.
Yeah, this double Nem Fran being very squishy, but super high attack means she can consistently top herself off for HP here.
Yeah, there's the attack break on top of the Han. Han's not going to be dealing much damage now.
Han's in a weaker position too. Missing, having that glancing up means no consistent chance at defense break or crits to cycle his skill 3 into skill 2.
Yeah, sustain may be the victory for Mr. Chung in this round 1. Beautiful Despair Stuns across all of Diligent's units except that Connell.
But it looks like that was a Chung Pung. I think he actually did quad stun. The Cardinal just took a natural turn. What an incredible setup from Mr. Chung. Double Despair units here, having both the Hay-Gang and the Chung Pung on Despair.
Yeah, Chung Pung on Despair. That is right. Connell looking to deal some damage here. Does he continue slamming away on the Fran, or does he work down somebody else?
Not sure if he can actually deal enough damage in this situation. Lulu is managing to top it off, even without using that skill 2 there. Not enough damage. The attack break is really strong. It's a lot of CC. That quad stun was just so much value here for Mr. Chung. Diligent needed that spacing there. He needed that turn to be able to knock down this Fran before the immunity comes back up. And there it is. Immunity again from Fran.
Yeah, we have the glance and attack break on top of Han. Han's really not going to be able to do any damage here. Fran stays alive, heals herself up here, and I think this is going to be it for Han. Han does not drop just yet.
Not enough damage there from the Han. Needs the extra turn to kill the Fran, but doesn't get it. Han does manage to go down. The glancing debuff is up. Could hit it just enough damage. Maybe the stuns come out, but not quite enough to kill the Fran. She's just a little bit behind.
Connell finally getting a skill 3 down there. Fran honestly just trying to hold on right now, but it looks like the Lulu is going to be saving the day here. Getting a nice first skill heal onto that Fran. No additional turns coming out here. Is Savannah going to have enough to drop it? Let's see if he can get rid of that Fran. Not just yet, but I think more is going to be primed and ready to get rid of that Fran.
This is actually enough. Diligent's about to turn the game around. He has the damage. Here's the defense break, and Cardinal's going to be having enough damage to take it out.
Ooh, Cardinal not just in attack break, sitting on top of Savannah. Savannah going to have enough to take it out, and I do believe so.
And Mr. Chung with an incredible counter strategy here to Diligent, but just not enough damage to take out both the Han and the Savannah. That Savannah having incredibly high HP, very tanky situation here. Han with the great base stats, almost like 12.5k HP base. It's just so hard to kill with only these support units.
Yeah, Mr. Chung trying to do all he can right now. Diligent staying cool, calm, and collected. Mr. Chung was looking for that Despair Stun on top of the Savannah. He needs to try and stop this Savannah, maybe dismount it to stay into this match.
Mr. Chung, I gotta give him the props though. This was an incredible strat. It worked out as intended, but he just didn't manage to outlast Diligent. Diligent's units were too tanky, too fast, too able to control.
Yeah, that's right. And Diligent taking round 1 away from last year's champion, Mr. Chung.
I think both of these players understand that the unique text they might have prepared for the others might not be enough, or in some cases, they don't want to quite show it yet. Maybe wait for that second or third match before throwing it in there. Diligent, I think he's a little worried. Knowing how fast those units were both on Despair as well. You know, that Hay gang managing to move in front of the Savannah.
Well, let's see if Mr. Chung's going to change up this pace here. Maybe not bring so much sustain on the side of the field and bring in something a little bit more aggressive for Diligent. Diligent with that excellent rune quality. All of his units being runed up very, very well. Last time free bans were out, and we have new free bans coming in here. The Gianna and the Lulu. Diligent does not want to see the Lulu this time.
Mr. Chung, very safe, smart choice here. Pre-banning the Lulu, knowing he doesn't get the first pick, so Diligent will most likely take that, so he denies it. Diligent goes for that Cardinal, wants the Cardinal. Very, very strong and effective. We saw it in Frank's matches versus Jack there. It was the decision maker. It was the one that really turned everything around for Jack. So let's see if Diligent here can do the same thing.
Let's see what Mr. Chung's going to be drafting after seeing this Cardinal coming out here. Does Mr. Chung look to the Lulu once again? Or is he going to be taking 2 different units for a different change of pace?
Oh, I bet he is looking for that Lulu, but that pre-ban denies him any opportunity for that. Oh, he's not sure what to pick. Goes for the Praha. Last moment decision. I do like the Ganny to take it away, but didn't go for the Oki. A little bit surprising here, but Praha, we do know he has an incredibly well-runed Praha. It's got that 100% win rate for him specifically, an 80% win rate in APAC as a whole so far.
That's right. Mr. Chung going for the Praha instead of this Lulu, not having this unit be able to draft in here. And we've got Diligent once again looking at that Han and more coming out for Diligent.
Yeah, I really like Praha. I think she's very effective in a lot of drafts. I don't think that she's actually strong enough in drafts where Han is available, though. The problem is this team the Diligent can pick has so much damage. I'm also really shocked to see him pick that Tech Fran again. I guess he's slamming it down as basically a, hey, do you want to take the risk against my Fran again with that more?
Well, let's see. He's got the Light Monkey King, and he has the Fran. A lot of sustain once again on the side of Mr. Chung. Diligent not having any sustain at all. Let's see if he chooses to draft possibly a sustain unit to help his team out here, or is he just going to rely on that rune quality to help win this match? Diligent wraps up a draft. Chung Pung and Wunsa.
Mr. Chung running out of time for a lot of these drafts, actually at a huge disadvantage there. Diligent managing to take the Chung Pong alongside. I was hoping to see a bearing, but he has a wound saw, so he doesn't even need the bearing. This draft is not looking good for Mr. Chung. Mr. Chung really just has the force ban Verd there, and it's just not going to be enough into what Diligent has to control him with.
Yep, there you go. The ban is on top of that Vert. He was looking for a reactive draft, having the Nemesis Fran and the Vertiheal possibly revenging. Diligent bans out that Vertiheal. Han's getting banned out here. Resistance lead for Diligent, and of course the speed lead on the side of Diligent. Here we go, guys. Round 2 for Diligent versus Mr. Chung.
It's going to be pretty tough here because this Fran will cut regardless, and he's going to have to strip through a lot of buffs. Oh, is it going to be enough? I don't think he takes the risk.
Ooh, Fran is going to be cutting here. There's the attack weapon, the immunity coming up, and we've got that skill too. Once again coming from Chung Pong. Does he get a full team strip? He does. Is Connell going to be enough to drop this Fran here?
It is going to be enough, and the double stun is huge value. The slow debuff on the Monkey King here, even with the violent proc, the glancing is up from that Chung Pong. Chung Pong, 75% harmful effect rate, landing exactly as he needed to.
Yeah, massive value out of that for sure. Looking for a sleep on all the units, but the Moore is not going to get put to sleep here. Immunity sitting on top of the Wounsa. Wounsa, lucky that is up there.
Even with the Fran gone, this is actually a fairly even match. The slow debuff maybe leaning a little bit in favor of Diligent, but there is a lot of value here. Sierra could proc out of that. There's the extra turn for Ganny. Ganny cycling his turns already pretty effectively.
Most definitely glancing finally being applied to that Ganymede. We have the Light Monkey King who is now awake.
Oh, the reset, though, on the Chung Pong is really good value. He needs to push back here. Praha does have the heal, though, so has to play it pretty kind of 50-50.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking for a skill 2 sleep on top of Light Monkey, not receiving it here. Does have that skill 2, could take the attack bar away. He is glanced, though.
Yeah, might go for it anyways. A little bit of additional damage. Saves it. Waits, gets the extra turn. Hopes to hit the provoke again. The glancing, though, is not a lot of value. Misses it again with the glancing debuff.
Yeah, no provokes coming out there. We're going to see a big skill 3 coming out of this Praha. Praha looking to put everybody asleep here. Let's see. Does not land on the Wounsa, of course.
Oh, but the value here. Shrugs off the slow debuff on the Light Monkey King. Could just go for a safe skill 1 here. Turns are going to come up. This Light Monkey King could actually effectively CC Diligent this entire match. No extra turn from Cardinal either.
Again, he's got that beautiful seal of magic up the attack bar across all of Diligent's units. Gets a reset on top of the Cardinal as well. It's only an attack break sitting on Light Monkey King. All or nothing. Doesn't get the stun on top of the Chung Pong.
Goes for the safety, gets attack bar from the skill 2, rotates the turns, knows it's more effective in this manner, and that's looking pretty bad for Diligent. Diligent did manage the first turn to take out that Fran, but missed the strip on Ganny. Really needed to deny Ganny resetting the Chung Pong in that first turn. This is not looking so hot for Diligent now.
Yeah, it's not completely over, though, for Diligent at all. He still has his 4 units. Ventilate back onto that Light Monkey King. Light Monkey King still has all skills available. You can see Mr. Chung really trying to work down that Cardinal first. If he can get rid of this unit, it's definitely going to be a lot of benefit for him. And he's able to remove this unit from the field with the Praha.
It's not looking good here. I think it's over for Diligent. Diligent realizes it. Mr. Chung, the king of CC, popping off with that Praha and Kietenda Shang, the Light Monkey King. His 2 coined units does manage to take the second match away from Diligent.
Yeah, he does take that second match away from Diligent. We're getting into a round 3 with Diligent and Mr. Chung. Mr. Chung got his bread and butter off. Once he got that thing rolling, it was actually over for Diligent.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like the Praha was going to be super effective early on in this matchup, but you know, at the end of the day, when you got runes like Mr. Chung and you got that kind of faith and you're a Super Saiyan like he is, maybe it's just enough to take away a game from Diligent.
Well, the Janna and Lulu are now available. Han and Light Monkey King are going to be pre-banned going into this round 3.
Yeah, it's pretty tough in this situation. Mr. Chung has a lot of really good effective units to CC Diligent. Even if he takes, or even if he loses turn 1, you concedes it here to Diligent. Diligent doesn't have a lot to deal with it when that Fran's on the table.
Looks like Gianna's going to be the first pick for Mr. Chung. Diligent looking to respond after seeing Gianna being taken by Mr. Chung.
really want to see a Sierra here out of Diligent. I want Diligent to go for a little bit more of an aggressive draft here. I think the Moore is very good for him, but I don't think he necessarily needs it into this Fran. One of the biggest issues is normally when you pick a technique Fran like this, where it's the double Nem will designed for the Moore, it's usually only good for one match. But in this situation where, you know, Diligent relies on that Moore, that Water Ryu, it's actually a force fan almost any time in the draft.
Well, it looks like Lulu's coming back to the field alongside this Okeanos for Mr. Chung. Diligent looking to respond after he has this Cardinal and more. He has a speed lead already in his team.
I do like the Oki pick here. Instead of taking the Gani or the Chung Pung, that would give Diligent too much opportunity to take a wind unit right away. Takes the Okeanos, forces Diligent to take the Gani away from him, and still plays it pretty safe. You know, he's got a little bit of aggression here. He's got the Lulu for heals. Diligent pops in something different. There it is. There's the Hagang that we were looking for.
Yeah, Gani Hagang for Diligent. Very safe draft. I do like that. But we have the Diana coming out for Mr. Chung.
Diligent must be careful. He doesn't have a lot of damage on this composition right now. It's mostly just the Cardinal. Oh, and there it is. A Rigel might come through. Very, very effective last pick here. Could actually be a force ban in a situation like this. Diligent doesn't have the damage to deal with a unit like that.
Yeah, Rigel's coming through here alongside this Diana. Diligent needs to make a very intelligent draft here on this last pick, even though it could possibly be a unit getting banned out. And he looks like he's going to be showing a Tian Lang.
Tian Lang a little bit risky. Has a lot of attack bar gain on his own side, but it is very good against the Diana and Gianna Oki here. So a lot of units on the field losing attack bar. We are most definitely going to see a Rigel ban in this situation. And probably also the Tian Lang on the other side. Maybe the Hagang though.
Possibly that Hagang because of Gian on the other side of the field, but we're about to find out, guys. Bans should be coming out. These two definitely taking their time to think about what they really want to ban out here, how they want to play out this match number 3. Looks like Lulu's getting banned here and the Ganymede.
All right, call me crazy. I love to see a ban like this where it's something we don't expect. I really am interested to see how effective this Tian Lang is into the Rigel. Rigel on Vampire can be really effective against this kind of draft.
Well, let's find out as we get into a round 3 with Diligent and Mr. Chung. More coming up with a big strip across all of Mr. Chung's units here. Massive skill 2 possibly coming out with this Tian Lang. Maybe a skill 1 into the Diana.
Oh, the Despair Sun into the Gianna on the first turn. Holy, there's a bit of value.
Yeah, first turn Despair Stun right into that Gianna with the Death Break on top of it, of course, glancing and on top of the Okeanos. We got the shields coming up from the Diana. Big skill 3 possibly coming out from this Connell, and it is coming out here. Does he get any stuns here across Mr. Chung's units? And he does. Stuns up that Diana, and of course, this Okeanos.
Here it is. Do we see the life drain? Oh, that's a lot of damage. And there it is. It is on Vampire. We do see the Vampire runes on the Rigel here. Tian Lang denying a lot of the attack bar gain that he gets. Needs to take the Tian Lang out early on.
Yeah, Tian Lang took some massive damage from that Rigel. Defense break still sits on top of him. We have Hagang looking to possibly get a Despair Stun once again. Maybe take advantage of that defense break on top of the Gianna.
Yeah, this is a battle of who can kill who faster. Rigel on Vampire, very strong, high effective defense break damage, but needs to take out the Tian Lang.
Is the additional turn coming out from that Diana, but we're going to see possibly a Provoke on the Diana, holding it back from going after this Tian Lang. Let's find out what he's going to do with the second skill. He could drop that Gianna as well, though.
I think this draft still favors Diligent, though. All he has to do is keep hitting a unit that's not the Diana, and this Tian Lang will just continue to get attack bar. Defense breaks can come out into this Rigel. Rigel doesn't have a defense break opportunity here, so it's not going to be a lot of damage. We know it's on Vampire, so it can't actually proc out of this defense break.
No, it cannot. I think Diligent has to take advantage of this defense break sitting on top of the Rigel right now. Choose to go for the Okeanos instead, though.
Yeah, every time he hits anything, it's really just extra attack bar. Forces the Diana to move, or forces the Rigel to move. It's a very good opportunity. Needs to take the gamble to try to kill the Tian Lang, and it's not enough. Tian Lang does get the skill too.
Not enough at all, but the revenge comes after the Rigel. Almost finishing up that Tian Lang. Big skill, too, into the Diana. Diana in a very vulnerable state. Water Ryu more trying to finish up, drops it. And we see Diligent trying to do all he can to get rid of these two units. And there we have it. Diligent is taking that round 3 away from Mr. Chung.
Mr. Chung has some incredibly cool counter picks. He's got a wild roster of units that people don't generally see. We saw the Tech Fran build in the first match, saw it again in the second match. This one's the Vampire Rigel. Incredible damage output, managed to hit 17.5k into that Tianlang on the first turn. But overall, it just wasn't enough. Needed the control. Tianlang was too effective against both the Diana and the Rigel. It just denied too much. Diligent on top of his game right now. His drafting, it's clean, it's incredible. He's doing everything he needs to do to beat Mr. Chung.
Yeah, Diligent staying very calm and collected here as he progresses through these matches. Good on him, but that's experience showing with Diligent.
I really want to see more from Mr. Chung. We know he's an incredible player. He has the ability to do this. We've seen the unique counter picks. I just want to see him pick something a little bit more aggressive. I know he can do it. He is the kind of player that can really take a match off Diligent by catching him off guard.
He's been early picking a lot of Lulu, though. If we don't see this Lulu coming out of Mr. Chung, it gives him that opportunity to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't like seeing this Lulu in his draft because it just shows that he's more than willing to receive the damage.
Yeah, I do like the and pre-ban here. Knows that the Kitenda Shang, the light Monkey King, is going through on Mr. Chung's side. Wants to play around it, so bans the Fran out so that his Moore has an opportunity to go in for turn 1.
Very smart ban coming out of Diligent. He took that Carnal away from Mr. Chung. Here we go. Mr. Chung, does he choose to change it up and help us get into it a game 4? And it looks like he's going to take that Moore away from Diligent.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to see from Mr. Chung. I want to see that aggression. I want to see that first turn control. I want to see him take things away from Diligent, force him to play a different draft. The only downside here really is that Diligent has the Tianlang. He has the unit that can go into this, the force ban.
Diligent looking to respond here, really taking up all the time. Ooh, flashes the Pontos, takes that Pontos away. Does he choose to bring it back? We'll find out. He needs 2 picks here, and it's going to be the Hey Gang and the Wunsa. I don't really see much reactions out of him, so I think he's happy with it.
I do like Hey Yang Wunsa here, but I don't feel like he needs to take the Wunsa earlier. I'm pretty sure Mr. Chung doesn't have one, so taking away a Chung Pung or a Ganny here seems really, really safe.
Well, I'm definitely sensing a Ganny possibly coming out of Mr. Chung. Mr. Chung going back to that Lulu draft, though.
I like the Lulu here. I feel like a Praha alongside this Ganny is what he needs. Has a lot of sustain in there, extra damage into into all 3 of these units, actually. Has a lot of rotations. Tianlang does become another issue at that point, though, but Diligent going in for a draft we saw earlier with a slight tweak to it.
Yeah, Savannah and Han coming out for Diligent. After seeing those 2 units, we have Mr. Chung looking to respond to it with his last pick here. Mr. Chung needs to win this match to stay in, and Diligent could get this victory to upset him.
This match is looking pretty heavily in Diligent's favor, though. With Han, Wunsa, and a Hey Gang on the field, it's very effective against this Water Ryu. I think we're most likely going to see a Ganny ban, but we could see a speed lead ban here. I just don't think it's worth it. I think banning the Ganny for safety is really strong because Diligent has 2 strong first turn strips into him.
Definitely, I think I agree with the Ganny, but it looks like the Lulu's gonna get banned out here, and Han's getting banned out on Diligent's side of the field. Oof.
So Diligent is
24 speed lead.
Damage and his ability to control Mr. Chung here. Mr. Chung's gonna have to put a pretty incredible matchup here to beat that Hey Gang.
Well, let's see if the 24 speed lead is going to be enough, but it looks like Diligent's going to be taking that first turn with this very, very fast Wunsa.
Here it is. Here's the strip. Ideally, he wants to strip not everybody. Oh, and there it is. That's the ideal strip, not actually stripping the Hey Gang, so no strip opportunity there. Is going to have to play a little bit of a weird matchup.
Yeah, there's that 3rd skill coming out. Does get the stun on top of this light Monkey King, dealing a ton of damage as well. Glancing being applied on across the field of Mr. Chung. Defense breaks coming up from this Savannah as well. Big skill 2 damage coming out from this wound. So he's going to be able to drop a unit here. We're about to find out.
Oh, really? Even though he didn't get the attack bar boost from his passive, Hey Gang managed to outspeed the Savannah. The speed spinning on that was pretty incredible. Really needs a slow debuff here. Oh, and gets the stun on the Carnal. So much value here.
Big despair stun on top of that Carnal. Glancing really came in effect on top of that Rika, but we got that skill 3 from Ganny coming out there. Does not get the attack bar reduction on top of the Savannah, though.
Looks like Light Monkey King most likely going down here to Savannah. Draft not actually super in Diligent's favor yet. If he does manage to take out the Ganny, though, before the next rotation, it's going to be pretty big.
Let's see if he gets the attack bar pushback on top of this Ganny. Is he going to get the additional turn with this Cardinal? We're going to find out. Ventilate goes back, and there's the additional turn from Cardinal.
Cardinal, no glancing debuff, has the ability to push back this Rika, enough for the kill possibly, but goes for the Ganny.
Goes for the Ganny. Ganny does not drop here, but Savannah's going to be primed and ready to get rid of that Ganny, and there you have it. Big skill 3 could be coming out from this Rika, but the glancing effect being so strong once again.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Mr. Chung. I don't know if Mr. Chung has enough damage. He's not going to be able to sustain through this. The glancing debuff super effective there on the Rika. Wants to get the knockdown here with the Moor, but Rika's not looking very healthy here.
Definitely not looking healthy at all. He needs to get a full team stun here to save a little bit of room, but he does get a stun on top of the Cardinal. I don't think that's going to be enough. Goes for the skill 1 on the Cardinal as well. Can Wunsa shut it down? Maybe put this Rika down, and we don't have that yet.
Actually, the slow debuffs here are pretty good so far. Rika might have the potential if she gets 1 sleep, 1 extra turn. Maybe denies the Savannah a hit here. It could be just enough.
Ooh, really needed the additional turn to stay into this one. A-Gang could shut down the Rika, and that's definitely going to be it for Mr. Chung.
I think Diligent here is really looking for a despair stun on the Water Ryu. Doesn't get it. Goes for the gamble. Needs to take down the passive so Savannah can go in for the damage. Not enough damage into the Savannah. Should cut, though.
There's the AoE, and we have a Lonely Moor. Passive's going to be up there.
It does have the potential slow debuff on Savannah. It's pretty effective, but it might not be enough. The glancing debuff comes up. Wunsa's going to get the turn.
Oh, and the 2-turn sleep from the Wunsa. There you have it. Diligent takes down last year's champion, Mr. Chung.